The Trinity of Fundamentals. Introduction to the novel by Wisam Rafeedie. In Return to Haifa, Ghassan Kanafani wrote, quote, After all, in the final analysis, man is a cause, end quote. Kanafani did not intend his categorical assertion to be confined to Palestinians, despite the fact that his novella poses the question of identity from a Palestinian perspective. He was positing the situation of man as a human being in a world bursting with conflicts of all sorts. On which side of a conflict does a man stand? At the ramparts of the oppressors or the ramparts of the oppressed? That is the main issue. A person is ultimately defined by the choice of their cause. Those who struggle against imperialism, Zionism, capitalism, and the forces of reaction have chosen their ramparts and are united in the struggle against this criminal camp. This is what we Marxists call international solidarity, a solidarity that unites all the strugglers for the sake of a world where national, class, social, and sexual exploitation are banished. A communist world, heaven on earth for human beings. A beatific dream? Very well, so be it. It suffices that not only does that constitute an incentive for struggle, but also for steadfastness of principles guided by what Marx wrote in his instructions to the militants of the First Communist International Workingmen's Association. Beware of compromising your principles. Beware of theoretical concessions. In that Marxist class-oriented school of thought, my consciousness began to take shape at the age of 16 when I became a member of the Palestine Communist Party and subsequently of the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. From that day up to this very moment, I feel within me all of the injustices that befall each persecuted person in the world. I consider everyone who struggles against that injustice to be my comrade, and my legitimate resentment of imperialists and capitalists in all of the varieties continues to build. It is within this context of international solidarity that I situate the efforts of my comrades to translate my novel, The Trinity of Fundamentals, into English. And it is within the same context that I felt a great sense of enthusiasm for the project and offered them all that I could to ensure its success. I wish to express my appreciation to them at the opening of this introduction. It is true that all experience is personal, but in an embodiment of the Hegelian saying about the general and the specific, everything personal contains what is general. Living in hiding during that historical period, meaning the Palestinian circumstances of the 1980s, makes that experience specific. However, living in hiding as a form of clandestine action, which is revolutionary professionalism in the Leninist sense, is a general phenomenon among peoples in many revolutionary situations. Lenin went into hiding for months. Tito did so for years, as did Ibrahim Nukid in Sudan. Similarly, Palestinian communists during the period of Jordanian rule and under Zionist occupation also went into hiding. It is granted that each individual experience has its specific characteristics with regards to the struggle of the structure of the party, the forms of struggle, the geographic and demographic nature of the situation, as well as the extent of development of the technological capabilities available to the intelligence agencies. Yet it is also true that there are general characteristics which surely unite all of these experiences, for they are experiences of struggle against capitalists and imperialists. The Zionist movement, which is the offspring of white European imperialism, gave birth to the Zionist project in Palestine, which took the form of a state and of settler colonial occupation. It was described by our departed comrade Dr. George Habash as little imperialism. Its aggression touched all peoples of the entire region. Its purpose as a regional arm of world imperialism renders that description a logical reality. Zionism, although it colonized Palestine, also occupied territories belonging to 3 states. Its blatant military aggression reached 3 other states, while its unannounced aggression, through its destructive intelligence agencies, has reached all of the Arab states in cooperation with the intelligence agencies of the reactionary states. Because living in hiding is a special kind of experience within clandestine action, it has become yet another meal on the table of revolutionary skills for revolutionaries throughout the world, including those splendid militant comrades of various nationalities who serve as the real embodiment of international solidarity and the diversity of revolutionaries within the very domain of American imperialism. Imperialism and capitalism serve to unite us revolutionaries, and the least we can do is exchange experiences and expertise. At the personal level, as one who lived in hiding for 9 years, I have become familiar with the skills of living clandestinely, firstly with the help of the party and secondly through self-education, based on the partial availability of details of other experiences. Lenin disguised himself as a laborer for a few months. Tito lived in the mountains with the fighters against the Nazis. Julius Futsik in Prague, Nukit in Sudan, moved between its north and south. Fuad Quisis, the Palestinian communist who experienced life with the Bedouins while seeking to escape Jordanian intelligence, and the Palestinian communist Arabi Awad, who stayed on the move between rural areas. All of these experiences were like extra helpings that helped me to master the skills and techniques of clandestine action. I would like to emphasize that I acquired the most important of those skills and techniques through my party experience and through my relations with the party, which allowed me to arrive eventually at what I regard as the first law of clandestine action: neutralize coincidences as much as possible. It is in this context that I see the importance of the translation of this fictionalized narrative of life in hiding novel, as I like to call it. To elaborate, under current circumstances, the translation serves as a link between 2 generations, not in the sense of lifespans, to which I attach no importance, and which is used for neoliberal propaganda, but in the sense of historical periods. The period of the 1970s and 1980s, during which my convictions and achievements took shape and I lived a clandestine life, was radically different from the current period. The liberal quest to bury revolutionary concepts and points of departure and to sow doubts about them has reached unprecedented lengths today. The alternative, individualism, consumerism, and the values of the market as opposed to the concepts of revolution and class and sacrifice and collectivity and justice and struggle. That is not even to mention colonialism. Unfortunately, many revolutionaries change their convictions with the speed in which they take off their pants. To use Fidel Castro's apt expression, they went from one extreme to the other, and they should be ashamed of themselves. On the other side, those who hold on to the choice of revolution and revolutionary struggle are like one holding embers in their hands. Despite their small numbers today, they are the hope of the future of revolutionary struggle against imperialism, capitalism, and Zionism, and the struggle for socialism and communism. That is why passing on the skills of my generation to youthful generations today has extraordinary significance. I rightly look with awe and appreciation of what these young people are doing in the stronghold of American imperialism. Those who are imbued with revolutionary fervor and brilliant intelligence and energy and vigor in the service of our people's cause and the causes of oppressed peoples and classes. What joy I feel when I see people in the full bloom of youth siding with the struggle against imperialism, capitalism, and Zionism, not just because I am glad to see the base of revolutionaries widen, but also because I am happy to see that there are those today who are raising the flag for which we fought. Thank you, comrades, for your efforts. you have made my heart overcome with joy.